Your Chapter 8 assignment is a little bit different this week than some weeks. We're going to get a little interactive and work with some other people. It's about planning and having a successful parent-teacher conference. And this is your introduction class. And so a lot of these concepts we're touching on quickly, but they are developed more and gone into more in other classes that you'll take. Like last week, we talked about positive guidance, and we've got a whole class on behavior and guidance or conscious discipline. You get to choose between those two classes, but there are a lot of the same concepts in just how we interact with the children and things. And then we also have a whole class on working with family, and that one is an elective, so you might not end up taking it. But we actually were just talking about parent-teacher conferences in that class as well. Which we do a lot in there, but in that class, it's kind of fun. They get to plan a whole project that involves family, the family involvement project. So that's one you might keep in mind if you have time for an elective in your plan. But for this week, we are going to, like I said, plan and then mock a parent-teacher conference. So Figure 8.4 in your textbook gives some tips for successful parent-teacher conferences. Be prepared, be organized, and have a clear purpose. Use a written format to maintain focus. Ask for staff input and up-to-date examples of child's work or behavior. Ask parents to help build the agenda. So, go into it with a plan. Don't just not know what you're going to tell them about little Sally or anything like that. Know what you want to show them and discuss with them. Make sure that you're including good information, as in positive information, positive things to say about the child. We're certainly not there to just focus on any improvements that need to be made or things that we need to work on. We want to compliment as well. All right, you're going to put the family at ease with a warm welcome and a thanks for attending. And then you're going to help them relax by stating some of their child's strengths, like I just said. Things that you've noticed that the child's good at, and then examples that prove that they're good at that. Compliment them on something you've noticed, either with their own child or when in the classroom with other children. Be sensitive to any cultural differences that may arise. Ask, don't tell. Begin with an open-ended question. How is that new schedule working out? Or can you tell me more? Don't just say, how are you? There are things you know about these families. Use that to get conversation going. If you know that something has been going well, like here, how's that new schedule working out? Maybe mom or dad's schedule at work changed, and so drop off and pick up has been different. You would want to ask about that. Learn how to listen carefully to what family members say. Keep the focus on the child. Keep the conversation based on mutual concerns and how to help each other. I think it's really important to emphasize to them that this is a partnership. You're not there to tell them what to do or to critique, but you have the same interest, and that's the child. And so this is a partnership for y'all to come together and create goals of what the child might need. And there it says create mutual goals. Make a plan of action together and discuss ways to follow through and stay in touch. So before they leave, based on what you said, maybe y'all have decided that there needs to be more story time at home. And so you might say, okay, so to be clear, Sally's going to spend more time with books, or you and Sally together are going to spend more time with some books. I've got a great list of some books to start with that I'll send you. Does this sound good? And so we make sure that we know the plan of action to take when they leave. After they leave, you're going to write a brief report about the conference. Make a special note of the important issues that were discussed, solutions that were agreed to, and dates for checking progress. And successful conferences are a result of good process and clear communications. A quiet space, sufficient time, and comfortable seating will help set a tone for open and honest dialogue. That sufficient time is so important. I think we've all been at doctor's offices where we feel rushed, and we certainly don't want that to be the case when it's time to talk about our kids. I do love that about my pediatrician's office, is that I don't feel rushed there. I feel like they actually set aside enough time for us to talk about everything we need to talk to, especially when we go in for our well child visits. I think that, once a year, they just don't rush us. So, you never want to be rushed talking about your kids. So make sure that that's not the case at conferences. So for this assignment, you're going to create pre-conference notes, and that will be something that you turn in. It should be a plan for specific concerns or praises and ideas that you intend to talk about. So you should have a specific child in mind. You just spent several weeks assessing 2 specific children. Let's make it about one of them. So you can use the same code name you used before. Give a little background information, just because that's in a whole other document. So on what you turn in, give a little background information on the child. Remind us what age the child is, and if they're in your class or the other class. Give a little information, and then have a plan for what you want to talk to the parents about. What positive things are you going to tell them about that child? Are there any areas of concern that you want to talk about? And what is your goal at the end of this? Because we do want, right here it says, include what goals you would like to see for the child, even though they might change once you have a conversation with the parent. Because if you go in with the intention of learning from each other and that partnership that I talked about, then the goals could change. I skipped a sentence there that says you might be nervous about this. And it's okay if you even want to make notes about how you plan to welcome them, like put on the paper that you're turning in what you would say as they come into the room, or especially since these are real families, maybe you know something that you can use to start conversation, and you can include that. So that's step 1, and that is a document you will turn in here. Then you're going to hold a parent-teacher conference, but not really. You're going to find a coworker to play the part of the parent. If that coworker is unfamiliar with the child, you can provide them with some background, but I don't want you to script out this conference. I want it to be, hey, they know the kid, that they don't know what you're going to say. And then while meeting, keep the conversation based on mutual concerns and helping one another, as it says in Figure 8. Also, create mutual goals and a plan of action. Discuss ways to follow through and stay in touch. Okay, and how am I going to know you did all this? You're going to video this conference between you and a coworker are having. Do not use the child's real name. Like I said, you can use the code name you used before. And for verification purposes, please show your photo ID on camera at the beginning of the video. So at the very beginning of the video, you're going to hold up your driver's license in front of you, and the driver's license are going to be on camera at the same time. And then you're going to write a follow-up report. This should be brief, and you can follow the instructions that we just covered in Figure 8.4. So you'll have, you could turn in one document, because your pre-conference notes and your follow-up report could be on one document. And then your video could be a link that you post in that same document. It can link to a video, or maybe you need to upload the actual video to this assignment. And we'll look here in just a minute about how to do that. So this assignment is going to be worth 60 points. And that's 20 points for each part. Okay, so 20 points for the pre-conference notes, 20 points for the video, and 20 points for a follow-up report. So I provided you with a template, or you may submit each part separately. So here's the template. Look at it. Okay. There you go. So if you, some people know how to use Google to, like somebody was talking about using Google Classroom to make their videos and putting the link there. When I make videos for you all, I use YouTube. So I record the video, and then I use YouTube to give me a link so that I can post it places for you. And I'll go to YouTube in a second and look at that with you if you'd like. Not if you'd like, you can't tell me, but I'll do it in a minute. Or you can go to Canvas and record in Canvas. And you have to set up your computer, I think. I don't think you can do it from your phone. I think you have to set your computer to record. And so that is an option too. Okay, so if you want to get really fancy and get some bonus points here, instead of working with a coworker, you're going to pair up with someone else in the class who you don't already work with. And you're going to be one another's parents for the conference. So you two would use the class discussion board, actually, instead of using that in case it's not working, I will post an announcement where people can comment and find one another if you want to. And you would set up a Zoom to do this, and then you would record the Zoom, and then you would each have to turn in, or you might do 2 Zooms so that you each have your own copy. So one of you would post and record it and have that copy if you're the teacher in that one, and then the other one who's the teacher would do it. So you'd upload that recording instead. So, and there I said, I'll create a class discussion so that you can use that to pair up if you want to. That's just for bonus. What you have to do is ask a coworker to work with you. So as far as creating a link using YouTube, and you can use your school address to create an account. But you just go to this little camera right here that says create, and you upload a video. So if you use your phone to record, you can upload from your phone to YouTube. I think that would be the best way. And then there will be a series of questions that you go through. You'll have to click that it's not for kids. You will have to make it public so I can see it, but that's fine because there are no children in this and you're not going to use any real names. So that shouldn't be a problem. And nobody's going to be searching for this. So I can't imagine that it will get any views other than mine. And so then, of course, anytime you want to share a video, you just go here to share, copy the link, and you go to your template. Let me do it here. Let me open a different Word document. So you're going to insert hyperlink. You're going to put the address that you just copied down here. But maybe you don't want it to say all that long, yucky stuff. So you're going to say, my parent teacher. Okay. And then there, it's hyperlinked, and it's got a pretty title instead of all the jumble, and you're ready to go. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, of course, just reach out in Canvas inbox or my office hours or call me. Thank you.